So how do I create my YouTube thumbnails using Canva? I'm going to show you two examples because I believe those are the most used on YouTube right now. And for a company like yours, you're going to need both of them. The first one, let me share my screen, is an interview style thumbnails where you put two people on the same thumbnail, and then you need to make sure that you remove the background, put a title, maybe choose a little bit of some effects with the text, and have a gradient background. The second one is what you use the most probably for your company, which is a review of a specific product or service. And here we are going to talk about a review of the Honda XR going off-road. All right, so how do we do these thumbnails? It's actually very simple. So first of all, you have to find a good photo. The easiest way is to look at your competition and look at what are those other reviews and product reviews are doing on YouTube in order to see what is the content about. But in this case, what works best, especially for off-road motorbikes, is to have this type of view where you have the nature and you have the motorbike. So let's put this as a background. If you click right, you can see set image as background, which I'm not doing because I want to, first of all, duplicate this. So the simplest way is to do Command D or Control D, or simply duplicate. Once I duplicate, I put them on top of each other, and I use a nice Canva function called background remover. And this function allows me to remove, you see here, I've removed the background completely. If you want to check, you just re-click on it and it shows you exactly what you removed. So for example, if you want to be more precise, you can either erase or restore. I like it. I'm not going to touch it. Now I just want to make sure that the motorbike is actually more visible because that's the product and I want to make sure that it's actually looking good. So I'm going to head over edit here. And I'm going to click on adjust and find the auto adjust function. This is, many softwares now have it. It's been around for a while in Canva and I really love it because if you click, look at how it changes the motorbike. Here you go. It makes it more sharp. The colors are a little bit more highlighted. Here the mirror is nicer, the glove and the handle is more visible. But it's not enough. I want to make sure that we actually see the model more than the nature, even though I still want us to see the nature. So I'm going back here, clicking again on position and looking at the two layers. I'm going to select the background and here I'm going to edit that image with a blur effect. So here it is. Now I can choose to brush. So brush means I'm going to blur a certain area like that. So it's good if you want to remove some sensitive information, for example. But that's not what I want to do here. I want to do a whole image. And I'm going to put the intensity of, let's say, 12. So now I have my motorbike highlighted, my background. I want to add my text. In Canva, the easiest way to add text is to create what we call brand kits. And here I have all my brands that I've saved. So every time I work on a new project, I can create their brand in Canva and it allows me to, when I select it, so of course this one is selected already. I have colors of the brand saved, fonts, the logos, of course, and more. So I'm going to look at the actual logo of the company, for example, and I'm going to take the headings. Doing so allows me to, for example, put the logo in the corner here super easily. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. And here we don't see it, right? So I'm going to put some white shadows around it so it looks much better. So I'm just going to put the intensity max, the blur amount minimum, and the color white. You see here, I've created a nice layer that do the contours of the logo. That's super easy. Now I want my heading to be the name of the motorbike that I'm going to review, which is the Honda XR 150L 2025. And it's even better because we are in 2025 as I'm recording. Now I can highlight this, make sure it takes the whole screen length. knowing that YouTube thumbnails are never put full screen, they are always small. So it's very important to have big words if you use words, and make sure that they are visible. So what I like about Canva is you can choose different effects when you select the text like that. And we can choose outline. This puts a nice border. I like to use neon for this case. And of course, I'm going to choose their color for the text. But obviously here it's gray, so I don't like it. I'm going to put the intensity to the max so that it's actually creating this nice dark shadow around the letters like that. So like this, it's super visible because obviously we've put some blur background, etc. Now you could be fancy and add some text like this, position in between the two photos. I'm not going to do that for this video, but we can do this for other cases where you want to put the text behind one of the layers. Okay, moving on to the subtitle, this thing, how about that ABS? And I'm going to make sure, so I'm writing first, how about that ABS? Okay. Now I want this to be on one line, aligned with the text. So super easy to move around, right? And eventually that's where we are going to use those effects with outline. Outline should be white and the text color should be red, like that. Or actually the easiest, because this brand has two types of brands, I like this red from their brand. So here it reminds us about their adventure brand. Now I want to do this little thing like off-road thing. I'm just going to Control C and Control V for this one. But note that here in Canva, you have a lot of elements from where you can choose from. So if you choose scratches, here you can, add a lot of scratches, maybe somewhere on your title and the back as the background. And the good thing when you have the Pro version is you can usually on those graphics change the color. So here I could put a red color like that and then create some nice effects of broken glasses. Okay, so I'm just going to copy paste this because it's easier for the demo, but you get the idea. Now let's add the last piece of text here saying going off-road. And that will be it for today. Just making sure that the font is actually the font from their other brand. This one, red is fine. Actually, I prefer in this case to have it softly white and the black outline like that. There you go. In a few seconds, I've done my YouTube thumbnail for a video on YouTube. Now, let's use Canva for this case of this interview. So I'm just going to show you from scratch. So I'm adding a picture. The good thing is, of course, once you've decided on things, you can duplicate them super easily. But in this case, I'm just going to show you from scratch. So the background color here, once you select the background, you can choose the color. So let's choose, for example, the blue of my Scale in Peace YouTube channel. And I'm going to click again on the same blue. So here 03260, click again, select it again. And if I click again on that, I can have some settings. I'm going to choose the gradients, and gradient will lead me to some nice purple. I'm choosing this one for the sake of this demo. I might choose a better one later. Now I want to choose my photo and the photo of my guest. So I'm just going to go to my uploads. Of course, you can upload pictures of people and your own photos. So for example, Joel here, I'm going to remove the background first, then mark here like contour using shadows effect. So glow effect. The glow effect, if you put the intensity to the max and the blur amount to the minimum, then you can have this nice white layer. like this. So I'm cropping the photo so it's easier to manipulate. Maybe I keep his like this here. And then I just move him to the background like that. So that's my Joel. Moving him a bit here. And I'm going to put my photo because I don't want to change it. So I'm just going to paste it. And here I'm just going to duplicate, like copy style here. Maybe it didn't work. Oh, yeah. Here you go. So you see here, the two styles of the photos is harmonious. Now I need to make sure that the lighting is better. So auto adjust. It's not what I wanted. I'm just going to make sure that I am a little bit more bright. So like it's more visible. And here, Joel, I'm going to do the same thing. Auto adjust and put the brightness a little better. I could choose better photos, I guess, for him, which I might do. Maybe less vibrance. It's not necessary. Actually, just reset the adjustments, put the brightness like that. But that's also to show you like all the different elements. There you go. So we have our two characters here. I'm just going to put myself like him on the side as well, so we can leave space for some text. How to stop feeling lost in life. Let me just copy the text. And I'm going to go back to my brands. Here I have my SIP brand selected already. So I put the headings and Control V. Here it's small text. I'm just going to move to uppercase, to click on uppercase in the settings, and I can actually have it already put in uppercase like that. Then I'm how to stop feeling lost in life. I think those are two lines is nice. The spacing here between the lines is too big, so I'm just going to reduce it. The text is too small, so I'm just going to increase the size of the font like that, putting it down. So clicking on the element, moving it down. And then here we can't see the text, right? So I'm going to put some effects. In this case, neon should work fine. Maybe you want to put a background, but let me show you neon with a blue font here. I think it's looking good. How to stop feeling lost in life. Now on the top here, we have some kind of like a red thing here. So let me just add again my heading. Here I can say full episode. I'm not sure if that's the correct wording or things that I should choose. I will let you decide in the end. I'm choosing a bright red as a background. So here you see it's just an effect. Roundness should be minimal and spread should be normal. Transparency, I can make it a little more transparent if I want. And here I put it a little bit bigger. If I struggle to center the element, I can click here and align to page. Center. There you go. It's at the center. And then I can put the name of my guest. So I'm just going to put subheadings here. I'm going to put masterclass with Joel Ricard. Here it should be much bigger. Or let me just, if I struggle with that, just put the layers. Make sure you put all your text on top. It was already the case. You can select it from here and then move it. Okay. Here you go. And then effects. I liked this nice neon, but this time I want it to be golden. So maybe I choose the orange from Scale in Peace. And here we go. Masterclass with Joel Ricard. Okay. So here you have your thumbnail done also in a few minutes. I really hope that it helps creating your own thumbnails for YouTube, but also some more ideas for social media with Canva. It's the pro version. If you need any help with this, just ask your questions in the comments of this video or reach out to me and I will be happy to help you with your content generation. See you guys and have a good entrepreneurship journey and life. Bye.